What's the hubbub? To start, let me get a response out of the way to Mr. Phenom. Here's what he said.
Look at the past 4 videos. No views. A video with me in the thumbnail and about me in 22 hours has almost surpassed everything he or she has done in the last 11 days. Now, if you go look at the previous videos towards that, go look at the rage bait with the Snyder thumbnails, my thumbnails. Look at the view comparison compared to just straight DCU talk. The DCU is dead. Nobody cares. And that is exactly why they have to rage bait to try to get clicks, because nobody cares about the DCU talk. And that's...
He's projecting his own rage bait Snyderbro grift at this point. Check what he did also. He cuts off where I had a couple of videos do quite well, as it doesn't support his accusation. Oh, interesting. The next 2 videos right under are 2,100 views and 1,500 views. It doesn't change what I'm going to talk about. The algorithm gods just decide what may get floated around or not. It's true, people enjoy reaction videos of opposing thoughts. This isn't new to YouTube. I'd call that a staple of it, actually. Whether it's trailer reactions or reactions to other YouTubers, there is a segment of viewers that enjoy different points of view in entertainment commentary. I said some of the following on a community post. I never went out of my way to just bring up his videos that failed on views. He likes to bring up that some of mine don't hit thousands of views. So what? This is a small, under 1,400 subscribers channel where the typical goal is 10% of subscribers' view count. For most channels, which would actually be around 140 views, as being good for my channel size. I qualified to monetize, but I haven't chose to yet. I like providing the free content with decent backing video edits, and sometimes even at the cost of overall views, which I'll explain in a moment. Mr. Phenom, has a channel that is like 10 years old, and I've been making consistent videos for like a year. I had a Gunn booed video that did over 2,000 recently, and I literally made posts ahead that I wanted to cover a bit less mainstream DCU versus DCEU related, such as the compare and contrast of lanterns to Men in Black. I know the algorithm won't pick that up, and it's one of my favorite videos I've done. Now, if there are reaction requests in our Hubbub community, I may do those, and they certainly cover a wide range of personalities. I've covered Jester Bell, Nerdrotic, Critical Drinker, John Campea, Boba Talks, Grace Randolph, and try to include small restore SnyderVerse engagement farming channels like Mr. Phenom and Aaron Fisher as well. It doesn't mean my effort to create good content was in vain. It's up to the algorithm gods. Also, with the backing media I use, I sometimes have to decide uploading in partial block territories which aren't copyright strikes. If they don't affect my main viewer territories, I tend to post the video as is and take the view hit. Knowing viewership may be less in some cases doesn't mean the particular video wasn't good. YouTube metrics may show extremely high click-through rate and still isn't getting in front of enough viewers when I go ultra niche, and that's okay. I try to stay to subject matter of DCU versus DCEU debate. These Snyderbro mill channels are a dime a dozen at this point, but I at least credited Mr. Phenom for a personality when he's not going toxic on me. Harsh critics has zero charisma, so I'm not just throwing out a compliment. If Mr. Phenom did something I thought was good, I'll say it's good. If I disagree like here, I'll say why. I know Charlie Kirk is a polarizing figure, and I'm often viewed as the DC liberal on here, but he once said something about debate I fully agree with. He stated, "When people stop talking, really bad stuff starts. When marriages stop talking, divorce happens. When civilizations stop talking, civil war ensues. When you stop having a human connection with someone you disagree with, it becomes a lot easier to want to commit violence against that group. What we as a culture have to get back to is being able to have reasonable disagreement where violence is not an option." End of quote. He died in his 30s as a father of 2, with both kids under 5. People, whether you agree or disagree on their opinions, shouldn't make you so thin-skinned and incapable to accept opposing ideas. I'll put this in the context of YouTubers. Something I really like about Tyrone Magnus, whether we agree on SnyderVerse and Gunnverse or not, is he lets people know It's okay to have contrary opinions. You aren't less of a person over it. He's authentic, and that's why he still has a solid YouTube channel base. Tyrone does not go unhinged because you support the DCU, and he's just being himself. The Snyderbro channels can't just say why they liked the DCEU though. They spend all their time rage-baiting against the DCU and trying to cancel it to restore what already was cancelled in the SnyderVerse. I'd also give the same kudos to John Campea, by the way, who I tend to agree with his takes more, but it doesn't matter. He's like Tyrone, in that he's not offended that people have other opinions. So for me, when I said Spider-Man was being glazed, I was totally giving you my truth. I mean, Peter Parker is no longer a photographer apparently, and the Punisher is a comedic clown relief. Uncle Ben doesn't seem a part of the lore. The main villains seem left out in favor of connecting with Avengers and X-Men routinely in this Spider-Verse, but I'm told I don't have a right to criticize it. Well, too bad. Opinions aren't absolutes, but I rooted for Spider-Man Brand New Day, and I was ultimately disappointed. I gave an authentic opinion. I'm a DC guy, but I always support the genre. If it's good to me, I'll say it's good. I'll get to this in a moment, but The Rock made a similar point when he was talking about Moana labeled as a flop, which I found to be quite valid. As for Brand New Day, well, it was just not Spider-Man to me, sorry, but if you liked it, great. I knew it would make money regardless. I liked Masters of the Universe and Supergirl, and found them to be far underrated. Those didn't make money, but when you look at them as films, I felt they hit expectations for me. That shouldn't hurt anyone's feelings, it's subjective. Let's talk about the latest flop at the movies. Moana, yes, it flopped hard. I don't think it was that bad of a movie, but the problem is, compared to the original animated version, it's not as good. I felt, unfortunately, the main lead of Moana was missing the Riz. Maui, played by The Rock, was solid, but the supporting cast and derivative story just didn't live up to it fully. Stitch, on the other hand, was better acted, and at least closer to the mark. Sometimes live action just doesn't cut it, though. Was it that bad, or just not good enough? The Hollywood Reporter got a statement from The Rock, who found himself in a hard place. If you love it, great. If you don't, no problem, the Jumanji actor said. But what meant the most to him was that the culture really stood up, as Johnson is of Samoan heritage. Because of me and our kids, who can now look at the big screen and go, that's us for the first time on a big screen. That's us up there. How cool is that? He said. Let me butcher some names here. Apologies in advance. Catherine Lagaya starred in the title role, taking over from Oli Cravalho, who voiced the character in the animated films. Johnson reprised his role as Maui in the live-action adaptation. The film, though, didn't make waves at the box office, grossing $264 million worldwide against a reported $250 million production budget. Please subscribe and let me know in the comments if you liked the new live-action Moana. I also would mention, on the topic of flops, Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu. It did in the 300 millions range, which was super low for its market. What did I think of it? I felt it kind of depended on the type of moviegoer you were for it. By that I mean, parents who are taking their kids to it could simply enjoy a fun Star Wars world movie. Adult fans tend to forget. A large audience for these type of movies are parents and their kids. Look, I get it. If you are a hardcore Star Wars fan, it felt kind of like another episode of The Mandalorian and nothing epic building to a larger story. It's pretty self-contained as a plot. After a successful mission, Mando is tasked by New Republic Commander Ward to find the mysterious Warlord Commander Coin. The New Republic has been offered intel on his whereabouts by the Hutt twins, siblings and successors to the deceased crime lord Jobber, in exchange for rescuing Jobber's son and heir Rotter from the moon Shikari. Mando reluctantly accepts the assignment and receives a new Razor Crest ship as prepayment. Upon arriving at Shikari, Mando discovers that Rotter is a popular gladiator in a fighting pit owned by crime lord Janu. Rotter, desperate to step out of Jabba's shadow, enjoys his status as a self-made fighter and refuses to be rescued by Mando, saying that his next fight will repay his debt to Janu and set him free. There are no great Jedis or deeper meaning into the Force explored. It's a decent enough movie to kill some time with the kiddos though. That's the thing about a lot of these movies that flop and aren't necessarily bad. They don't have to actually be bad movies to flop anymore, kind of like the YouTube algorithm. You can have good content that just doesn't catch the viewers and reach the target audience in large numbers. Supergirl was, to me, a very good movie. I still believe viewership was suppressed in a targeted campaign to paint it as woke when it wasn't. Influencers by far-right social media channels such as Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker decided to pick on Millie Alcock and a lesser-known director Craig Gillespie. People streaming it now that had held off from visiting their local movie theater are saying, oh, it's actually decent, as they skipped the theater experience, which is a shame. Minecraft did nearly $1 billion and was a horrid movie to me, but hey, there again, it hit the right target at the right time. They tried to flop the Odyssey and found Christopher Nolan's cred, and stars like Matt Damon, Tom Holland, and Zendaya were too much to overcome, which I found hilarious and hopefully a lesson learned after they tried to bully their way to another anti-woke grift attempt. Well, Hubbub homies, we covered a lot, and I look forward to more DCU projects coming out soon. That's right, we have an active verse. It feels nice. No SnyderVerse, no problem. Until next time, take care of yourselves and others, and don't be afraid to speak up when you have opinions. Free societies benefit from free thought. Catch you next time.
I have